Having a stable job in a Grand Theft Auto game would be a fairly ridiculous move, but a way to add a little order to the chaos in GTA 6 would be to bring back the option of vigilante missions. These popular distractions used to occur when players entered certain vehicles and allowed them the option to take on the role of a member of the emergency services or become a fledgling taxi driver. How long the notion of sensibility would last for most GTA players is a troubling question, mind you. Consider the battery meter on your smartphone, used without the helpful percentage figure shown beside it, and now the frustration of overestimating available power will become a very real issue. GTA 5's health bars were basically this, with very little scope for the player to learn what damage various threats have to their character's health. A blend of the latest version, with Vice City's numbering system, would solve this grievance. The minimal character skills available in recent GTA games have always been fairly well customizable, but building on this would be a great move, returning to the more interactive skill boosts that San Andreas covered, as well as adding more than just the usual driving and shooting skills, would take GTA's character-driven experience to the next level. Perhaps a morality meter, like that of so many RPGs, would be an interesting addition to influence how the game's ambient atmosphere reacts to players. The limited interactions players can have with the world in any GTA game have always been richly and marvelously detailed, but unfortunately there have never been quite enough of them. The vast majority of buildings in any GTA game, for example, are completely inaccessible to the player, thus detracting from the feeling of being in a real place. Add the option to interact with more people and places, and GTA 6 will be Rockstar's most immersive title yet. Most notable with GTA 5's online additions are the painfully long loading times that plague players of the game at almost every turn. Work needs to be done to help smooth this out of the next installment to the game, so that the whole experience can feel more involving and less stagnated at times. Grand Theft Auto is a series that stakes a vast amount of its identity into a vehicular focus and has always been a fairly solid driving experience. However, while other features of the series have seen constant innovation, driving hasn't improved all that much since San Andreas. Tuning the vehicle control toward the more realistic, and perhaps even adding the need to maintain cars with petrol and repairs, would push Rockstar back to being the leader in motor gameplay. Whether any GTA player can make a car last longer than a full tank of petrol will, of course, remain to be seen. GTA 5 certainly brought more ways for players to fall foul of the police, but the game is still a long way from presenting a wholly realistic version of law and order. Removing the ability to speed past stationary cops at red lights or stroll up to marshals with weapons drawn without reprimand would certainly make the game more difficult, but it would no doubt be for the best. Rockstar's GTA settings have always been remarkable parodies of existing places, with the latest iteration of San Andreas being one of the most interesting and engaging locations to date. It's time to explore something new, now, and what better place for the razor wit of a Rockstar team than a classic representation of the stereotype seediness of Las Vegas. I can already picture myself accepting missions from a ponytailed blackjack dealer. The gang warfare story within San Andreas' tale of redemption and revenge was a real roller coaster to experience, but it isn't something that's been replicated in a GTA game since. Building a larger criminal underworld into the game and adding an option to recruit members into a fledgling empire, like how goons are hired for heists in GTA 5, would make players in GTA 6 feel like they are truly taking a life of crime to its boldest heights. For all of the interesting and enjoyable characters in the franchise, GTA really hasn't had a truly despicable antagonist since San Andreas' Officer Tenpenny. The beauty of a character like Tenpenny is that he was a believable annoyance that ultimately became one of CJ's chief tormentors. While entertaining enough to begin with, he quickly became a sharper thorn in players' side and eventually had to be dealt with. And boy, was that a good feeling. GTA 6 needs a bad guy that its players can truly hate. One that motivates them to complete their rise from the gutters to overthrow him.
I find myself in a difficult moral position, Carl.
Yeah, right.
Carl, I'm hurt. I truly am. And just as I was about to help those poor Grove Street boys.
Oh yeah? How?
I like the status quo,